Okay, so now we're gonna take a look at your eyes. So first of all, I'm just gonna look at the size and symmetry, and then make sure there's no irritation or redness or extra crusties or anything in there. And then I can look at the eyebrows and make sure they're full thickness and not kind of thinning out at the anterior part. And then I can observe for any ptosis, which looks like it's fine. And then looking for any strabismus too. There's no hypo, eso, or endotropic tropism going on. So that looks good. And then I can take a closer look for any really subtle strabismus by having it just look straight ahead and shining it at the glabellum, and then making sure the reflection in the pupils is in the same place, which is good. And then I can take a closer look at the sclera and conjunctiva by having you look down and then lifting the eyebrow up on both sides. And it looks good. And then can you look up for me? And then just curl the eyelid down and look in there. And that all looks fine. And then next I'm gonna palpate the lacrimal gland, which is right up by the bridge of the nose, and I can push in on it. And is that sensitive at all?
No.
If there is any blockage, I would probably see some excess tearing, and then pushing on it would kind of backflow any fluids back into the eye. And that all looked good. So next I'm gonna focus in on the pupils, making sure they're equal in size, they're round, and then making sure they respond to light. So I'm gonna shine in the left eye and look at the left eye, which that responds nicely. And then shine in the left eye and look at the right eye, which also responds, which is really good. And then do the same thing on the other eye. So that's good. And then I'm gonna make sure that she can accommodate. So can you look at the picture back there? And then focus on the pen, and then back on the picture. Okay, and that's perfect. So now I can check the intrinsic muscles and cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6 by having her just follow my pen as I move. And then back to the middle. And that looks great. And then finally, can you look at that picture again? And then just keep looking at it. Doing a cover and uncover to make sure that eye doesn't move at all. Which it's still looking at the spot. Perfect. Same thing. Perfect. And then I can check your visual fields by checking your periphery a little bit. So let me know if you see any motion. Can you raise your hand on the side you see it?
Okay.
And just look straight ahead. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Very symmetrical. And good. And then next is the fundoscopic part. So I'm going to take a look at your retina. I'm going to look at the color and the shape of it, and then I'm going to look at your optic nerve specifically and make sure that looks good. So if you could look straight ahead and let me know. This might be a little bright, but I'll be in and out there. So I'm going to come in from the side and look for the red reflex. And just look at the disc really quick. And that all looked good. And then last part, we're going to do a visual acuity test. So I'm going to set up this chart back here. And if you could just read the lowest line that you can see.
DEFPOTEC.
Perfect. So you have 20/20 vision. And you have contacts in, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, and that was the visual test examination.